All right, it's Friday, September 27th. I'm buying some SPY 580 puts here at 745. Looking obviously for a little bit of a reversal today. This is the 15-minute chart. We gapped up again. We've been doing that all week. In this case, we had a little bit of a red to green move, and then we took out just the first bar high and the pre-market highs up here. Then we kind of paused a little bit, and I'm watching this pause very closely to see, do we get momentum to the upside, or is it a potential choppy reversal back to the downside? Obviously, on the daily chart, we're still above the, we're inside of yesterday. We're above the midpoint of the prior day on this open, but we did fail. The last few days, we've been kind of gapping up and failing red. It doesn't mean anything, in terms of what might happen. The weekly chart is still grinding higher, even though we kind of pull back a little bit early on. We eventually get some buying in here. So what I'm looking, though, on this particular chart is you had the inside price action, and then you had the potential pinball effect of the 5-minute chart. I'm watching that closely, and once I saw the 2 up, 2 down red bar 5-minute, I think that could lead to the 15-minute chart getting the inside bar to the downside, which then has a target here on the 15-minute chart. If in that case, if we get down here, we're getting to the midpoint of that first bar again, showing that we're not really following through with momentum to the upside, and then we could be getting higher highs and lower lows, taking out the low of the day. And who knows, maybe by the end of the day, we have to see how this thing ends. I mean, we're just inside all of this bar from yesterday, so it's nowhere close to a 2 down bar. That would be the failure bar today. It's still an uptrend overall, so that's why it's a little tricky trade, but I get the feeling that we might get a little volatility here on a Friday, taking out higher highs and maybe some lower lows, even if it ends up not really failing completely on the daily chart. So anyway, just showing the way in this case, just watching opening price action, not taking out the the first bar high and following through. I want to see if this becomes the high of the day. Then watching that area up here, this key little area, inflection point, watching the way the 5-minute chart went 2 up, 2 down, and how that could lead to the 15-minute chart doing the inside bar to the downside, which targets down here. And if the 15-minute chart hit its target, all of a sudden we're hitting the midpoint of the first bar, which then leads to the possible low of the day. And at that point, you have a whole no-risk trade to see what kind of day unfolds. Are we just going to end up inside of yesterday? And maybe, you could see yesterday we sold off, we come to the high of the range, maybe we'll chop around and get to the low of the range. So we'll see how things close by the end of the day. But anyway, I hope I explained that pretty well, just to the point where I'm expecting a little bit of a push down here in some form, and we'll see if that happens, what unfolds from there, watching the 15-minute chart. But it could be a nice trade if we just had a little bit lower here on the SPY.